Today I'm going to be evaluating two fragrances by Maison Alhambra, Kismet for men and Kismet for women. These are two fragrances that are remarkably different. I'm going to be telling you what they smell like, indicating whether they're worth it or not, and telling you which one is my favorite, because there is a clear favorite and I'm going to be covering that in today's video. If this is your first time watching, hello, my name is Anya. I love fragrances and I do reviews and talking about fragrance videos and do videos of talking about fragrance on this channel every single Wednesday, along with bonus videos in between. So if you're interested, definitely consider subscribing. So the first fragrance I had in my collection was Kismet for women. This is a gorgeous white floral perfume with a juicy apricot. Let me give you a rundown on the notes so you know what it smells like. So you have top notes of apricot, rose, and jasmine, mid notes of tuberose and narcissus, and then base notes of amber and cedar. So that fragrance is more focused on the white florals. It's a very sweet perfume. On the other hand, you have Kismet for men. This is quite different with top notes of woody notes and nutmeg, mid notes of patchouli, sandalwood, cacao, and coffee, and then base notes of vanilla and vetiver. This is a fragrance that focuses more on a woody accord. It's warm, spicy. It also has patchouli very prominently. And this is the newer one in my collection. So these two fragrances, in my opinion, I think they can be worn by both men and women. I don't think they're limited by what they say on the bottle. Kismet for women is very juicy. It's very sweet. You have to like gourmand fragrances in order to appreciate this perfume because it does lean quite sweet, and dare I say, sometimes it does lean too sweet, but this is a very photorealistic interpretation of a jammy apricot note. It is quite realistic. You do get that tuberose as well rather prominently. I don't identify the other florals as much as I identify the tuberose combined with that apricot. This is a very gourmand leaning perfume, very fruity, but if you're looking for a good affordable option for an apricot scent, this is definitely one that I recommend, because if you're looking for that super sweet apricot and you want something that smells rather photorealistic, you don't want anything that smells a little juvenile, this is a good option to try. Like I said, I do think both men and women can wear this, but it does lean traditionally feminine. However, if you're a guy and you want a fruity apricot, there's nothing stopping you from getting this one. And both of these fragrances are a little bit underrated. I don't hear as much talk about these perfumes compared to other Middle Eastern or Lattafa fragrances, which is why I wanted to make this video. This next perfume, Kismet for Men, was one that I was writing off for a very long time. I was considering getting this for quite a while, but I'm not a patchouli fan. I'm not someone who enjoys patchouli, typically. It's not a fragrance note that I lean towards. It's not one that I usually like to go for. I just have a very finicky relationship with it. Sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't. I definitely was feeling apprehensive about blind buying a fragrance with patchouli in it. The person that actually made me want to buy this was Dee, who is the scented academic over on TikTok. She talked about this fragrance for quite some time last year, and she really sung her praises about it, and I had it on my wish list because of that reason. And then I saw some reviews on Fragrantica about this perfume, talking about how it smelled amazing and just waxing poetic about it. And I figured I might as well try it out. And when I tell you, I think this is one of my new favorite Middle Eastern fragrances that I have smelled. I don't know if I should call this a Lattafa perfume or Maison Alhambra, because I know that they're similar companies, they're pretty much the same company, I believe. So yeah, it's one of my favorite Middle Eastern fragrances that I've ever smelled because it does smell so incredibly refined. I have trouble picking out the individual notes because I do think it is such a well-blended fragrance. To me, it smells almost herbal. That's my interpretation of it. It's definitely not a super earthy patchouli by any means, and sometimes that kind of patchouli can put me off. It really does smell very smooth and elegant and refined. almost like tonic, but definitely more on the herbal, warm, spicy. Yes, there's patchouli, but it's definitely just there to anchor the fragrance. This perfume, I would say, in terms of strength, these perfumes vary greatly. So Kismet for Men is definitely more on the subtle side. This is a fragrance that you can spray on like 5 sprays, and it will last moderately throughout the day, but it's not going to be a heavy hitter. It's not going to be a heavy performer. So this is definitely on the lighter, more moderate side. However, on the other hand, Kismet for Women is very, very strong. So I would say 2 sprays max during the day, maybe more in the evening. It does last all day, it does project, it does settle down after quite some time, but initially this fragrance jumps out at you. Kismet for Men does stay kind of consistent in terms of power throughout the day, but this is definitely a fragrance that I wear when I want something more subtle. I have layered this with other perfumes as well, so I would spray like this on my clothes and then I would spray something else on my actual skin because, like I said, this is definitely a more subtle fragrance, but I do love smelling this in wafts throughout the day. It is literally such a beautiful, elegant fragrance. I love how smooth it is. It's not too spicy. Again, I get that herbalness, and I think that's just my own interpretation. It almost smells like sage, and I don't know if that's just my imagination, but that's the interpretation I get, and I think that might be this particular thread of patchouli that's just going through the fragrance. It definitely smells very herbal to my nose, and I am kind of sorry that I didn't get this sooner because it really is such an interesting fragrance, and truly, it smells so much more expensive than it actually is. I believe this is around $20. These fragrances are both around $20 to $25, give or take, on Amazon. And the pricing is pretty amazing. And also the bottles are beautiful. You can see the bottles have like this design at the back. And I absolutely love them. So if I had to choose a favorite, even though I love gourmand fragrances, I would say I would have to absolutely go for Kismet for Men. I definitely, absolutely think this is a unisex fragrance. I don't think this is just meant for men. And I think that's what was throwing me off because it's so clearly labeled as for men. And yes, I do wear men's fragrances every now and then, but I tend to be very picky with ones I do go for. But this is absolutely unisex. There's no question about it. This is so, so good. Definitely an underrated gem. Thank you very much, Dee, for recommending this originally. Definitely follow her, Scented Academic, over on TikTok. She does some amazing videos, and she truly is such a lovely person to me in person as well. So yeah, this is like the standout favorite. If you had to choose one between the two, I would get this one. But I do hope my descriptions were helpful. So if you do prefer more gourmand fragrances, you might go for the Kismet for Women. This is also really good perfume as well. But already I wear this perfume. I've been wearing this nonstop since I got it, and it's only been a few days, but I'm obsessed with it. So Kismet for Men, love this fragrance. Kismet for Women is also really good too, but if I had to choose a favorite, I would choose Kismet for Men. So thank you so much for watching until the end of this video. I hope this was helpful, and I hope you enjoyed this comparison between the two fragrances. Let me know if there are any other underrated gems that you really want to see reviews from when it comes to Middle Eastern fragrances or any other fragrances in general. But yes, I will see you in the next video. Bye.